A B-52 strategic bomber took off from Edwards Air Force Base. Moments later, it was on the ground, in flames. A charred impact zone larger than a football field. Black smoke visible for miles across the Mojave Desert. 8 people on board, no survivors. The Air Force has one word for it: unsurvivable. A US Air Force B-52 Stratofortress strategic bomber crashed shortly after takeoff from Edwards Air Force Base in California's Mojave Desert on June 15th, killing all 8 people on board in what military officials described as an unsurvivable accident. Edwards Air Force Base first confirmed the incident.
A United States Air Force B-52 Stratofortress crashed shortly after takeoff on the Edwards airfield at 11:20 a.m. Emergency crews immediately responded to the scene and the situation is ongoing.
The aircraft, assigned to the 412th Test Wing, was conducting a local test mission in support of a radar modernization program when it went down moments after becoming airborne. Hours later, Air Force officials confirmed there were no survivors. Speaking at a press briefing, Deputy Commander of the 412th Test Wing Colonel James Hayes revealed the scale of the tragedy.
It's deemed to be unsurvivable, and right now our thoughts and prayers are with the families of those that lost their loved ones. We're sending teams out to notify the next of kin right now as we speak, and those next of kin notifications will take place over the coming hours and remainder of the day.
According to the Air Force, the crew included a mix of uniformed military personnel, government civilians, and contractors. Boeing, the manufacturer of the aircraft, later confirmed that 2 of its employees were among those killed. Officials said the bomber crashed almost immediately after takeoff before erupting into flames.
It was a B-52 that was on initial takeoff, supporting the radar modernization program, which is it was a local test sortie. It took off and immediately after takeoff crashed and burst into flames.
Hayes explained that emergency responders quickly secured the area, established command centers, and launched recovery operations.
Our team of first responders snapped into action and immediately cordoned off the area and took the appropriate action to start putting out the flames. While that was taking place, our base responded in kind to establish an emergency operations center and a wing operations center to ensure that the command and control of all base agencies and the response for the recovery effort was underway. After reviewing the footage of the crash, it was deemed that this was an unrecoverable crash and unsurvivable.
Footage showed a massive charred impact zone in the desert, larger than a football field, with thick black smoke visible for miles across the Mojave Desert. The crash also forced the temporary suspension of all flight operations at Edwards Air Force Base while investigators began their work. As for the cause, Air Force officials said it remains unknown.
At this point, we don't have any indication as to what the cause was of this. We won't be able to release that information, and we don't have an ability to get that anytime soon. Right now, we're going to stand up an interim safety board to do the initial gathering of the facts, and that will then lead to a safety investigation board, which will look into those root causes. Once that's complete, it takes about 30 days. Then it'll go into an accident investigation board, and then that will determine all of the information that we can release to the public and to the next of kin.
The aircraft involved was a B-52H Stratofortress, the only variant still in active US Air Force service. The 8-engine bomber has served as the backbone of America's manned strategic bomber fleet for decades and is capable of carrying both conventional and nuclear weapons. According to Air Force specifications, the B-52 can carry up to 70,000 pounds of payload, operate at altitudes of 50,000 feet, and fly more than 8,000 miles without refueling. The crash marks the first loss of a B-52 bomber since a Stratofortress crashed in Guam in 2016. In that incident, All 7 crew members survived. This time, however, officials say the outcome was far more devastating, making it one of the deadliest US Air Force aircraft accidents in recent years, and a significant blow to one of America's most iconic military aviation programs.